Mike Singer of blueandgold.com, joined by our senior editor, as always, Lou Samoji. Lou, we wanted to talk about today Brian Kelly and his contract situation and really how long we expect him to stay Notre Dame's head coach. I want to preface by saying we're not breaking any news here. There's nothing super new that's going to be discussed. But Lou, can you break down the situation for us? What's on his contract and how long could you see him coaching for the Fighting Irish?
Well, it was about a year ago, right around this time, when I had a one-on-one interview with him for the 2019 yearbook. And at that time, he indicated to me that they were working on a probably 2-3 year extension from the present one, which expires at the end of the 2021 season. And, I asked him then, is like, well, how do you go into a recruit's home and justify and say that, okay, I'll be here for 4 more years or so? He said, just take it to Vegas that, I'll be here during your term. Now, it's kind of funny because back in 2014, it was announced that Notre Dame and Ohio State would have a 2-game home and home series in 2022 and 23. And when we asked him about that, he said, oh man, that's going to be exciting, a really great series, and I'll be looking forward to watching it from some beach with a drink in my hand and all, because at that time I think he was anticipating now we'll be done by then. But I given how far they've come in the last 3 years and averaging 11 wins a year and all, they're on the cusp. They've been in the playoff in 2018. I think he feels he has something going, and I think in 2022 and 23, when they play both Ohio State and Clemson in a home and home, he'll be able to better gauge, is Notre Dame really going to be legit as far as contending for a national title, or is it time to pass the baton to somewhere else? I think he's here through maybe that 2023 and then evaluate it from there.
I mean, Lou, if he does win a national championship at Notre Dame, I mean, he would be remembered as one of the all-time great coaches at Notre Dame. I mean, to get there after 30 years of not winning it, how would, if he does win a national championship at Notre Dame, how would you kind of rank him among the greats at Notre Dame?
Yeah, I mean, there's no ranking. At Notre Dame, the head coach, it's a pass-fail job. If you win a national title, you passed and you get the statue around Notre Dame Stadium. If you fail, you don't. That doesn't mean you're a failure, but you don't get the statue. It's divided into 2 sections. You either won a national title or you didn't. Fair or unfair. That's how it's always going to be measured. So, yeah, if you win the national title, you're immortalized. And in his case, the fact that it took 30 years or so and counting right now, and then you break that drought, because the longest previous drought since winning the first one out of 11 consensus, maybe 13 NCAA recognized, but the longest drought would have been like 1950 through 1963. That's 14 years, because in 64 they did share it with the MacArthur Bowl. You've more than doubled that. So there's a hunger, there's a yearning for that drought to end.
Now, Lou, a few weeks ago there was a report of the earnings of Notre Dame's athletic program, and you had Muffet McGraw, Mike Bray, and Brian Kelly. We were all listed with about the same salaries of give or take right around $1 million a year. Now, Lou, tell me, does Brian Kelly really make $1 million a year?
Well, that's the annual ritual every year. USA Today does the listing of the salaries for the coaches and everything. And as a private institution, Notre Dame doesn't tell the whole story. But here's the only question ever to ask: do you really, really think Brian Kelly would still be here making the salary that he does? That's listed in there. I would say he's more in that market value. He's one of the top 10 coaches paid there, which, I think is certainly more than fair. I mean, when you win multiple titles like a Nick Saban, Dabo Swinney, Urban Meyer, you're going to be way up there at the top and should be. I'm sure Brian Kelly is right, living very comfortably, not having to worry about finances at this point. Look, Brian Van Gorder, it was revealed, was making over $1 million as the defensive coordinator. So Notre Dame is going to be commensurate with market value.